Hello and welcome to Euphoria. In November, at the online preview event for their Black Friday sale, LEGO showed off their modular building line, including the currently available sets of the Jazz Club and the Boutique Hotel, and showcased the new modular for this year, which is the Natural History Museum. They also showed examples of their free modular building expansion packs, or at least the instructions are free, and more on that in a minute. These little modular expansion sets provide a way of adding a small half-modular expansion to your modular city or street, which can sit next to your existing modular buildings and continue the street scene without having to buy a full modular building. The instructions were subsequently provided by LEGO as downloadable PDF files, so I thought I'd take a look. If you want to catch up with the live stream, a replay is still available at the moment, but may not be online for long. I've included a link in the description below. So in this video, I'm going to look at the expansion sets and have a go at building one myself. So at the online event, LEGO showed 3 examples of a free modular building expansion pack. These are designed to be small and affordable models that use fairly common parts that you might have in your parts box, or at least be common enough parts that they're easily available. They're also available to buy from Pick-a-Brick at the LEGO online store as little mini kits, although you have to know where to look for them. More about that in a minute. Each of them is quite a small build and sits on a 16 by 32 base plate, which is the footprint for a half modular building, the size of, for example, one of the 2 half modulars in the pet shop set, or one of the 2 half modulars in the bookshop set. The idea is for a small build that can add a bit of variety into a LEGO modular street scene or city, and provide a visual break in an otherwise solid row of buildings. There were 3 different ideas shown in the preview: a small vendor stand or kiosk, a construction site, and a winter pavement scene. The small vendor stand can be used to sell anything really, although the examples given in the instructions are a bit wacky. There's a wig stand, a bone vendor, and a frog vendor. I'm not sure whether any of them would be a viable little business, but I'm guessing these are designed to use parts that are currently available from LEGO Pick-a-Brick. Of course, you could easily substitute those for something else that might be more realistically sold in a little pavement kiosk. The construction site is basically an empty site on which a building is being demolished or perhaps constructed. The site doesn't have much in it, but this could be your opportunity to build a portable toilet with glass panels, if that's your thing. The winter scene is really only a fence and some street furniture, although behind the fence there's a pond, which I suppose could be used as a small skating pond in a winter scene, or just be part of a little park. Surprisingly, LEGO has made the parts for these available as sort of kits, although unfortunately they aren't regular LEGO sets that come in boxes. But you can order the parts on the LEGO Pick-a-Brick part of the LEGO site at lego.com. Then you can download the instructions, and when the parts arrive, You can construct them according to the downloaded instructions, or you could just print the instructions. I think the idea is a kind of introduction to the idea of being able to pick your own parts and create your own little mocks. However, LEGO haven't made this very easy, as it seems impossible to find these kits unless you know how to get to them, because they don't seem to appear on any menu anywhere. But anyway, I've provided links to them in the description below. I had a look on the LEGO Pick-a-Brick site, and in this country, the UK, they don't even have all the parts in stock for some of these. But if you do want to try to buy them, the Vending Stand is £27.10 and seems to provide the frog, bone, wig and dog parts to make whichever of the variations you fancy. The construction site is £22.59 and the winter scene is £22.22. So these are very cheap compared with buying a full modular at £200 or more. This feels like a bit of an experiment by LEGO to support AFOLs, although if you look carefully you can find other ideas on the Pick-a-Brick part of their site, so it's not particularly new, although as far as I can see the others don't have any instructions. I'm going to have a go at building one of these modular expansions. Or at least I'm going to try following the instructions and use my own pieces as far as I can to make something like one of them. I already have a construction site in my city because I'm in the throes of moving some of the modular buildings around and making or modifying others. So I'm not going to make the construction site one. So I thought I'd try making something like the little vending stand or kiosk. I don't particularly like the idea of a wig stand or a bone vendor or a frog vendor, but I thought it could be a nice basis for a little news stand or a refreshment stall. I already have a slushy and hot dog stall for my city, but maybe something that provides small refreshments like chocolate bars and soft drinks would be nice. Or maybe I could turn this into one of those little stands that seem to pop up everywhere, providing mobile phone repairs and accessories. So I'm going to use the instructions for the vending stand and see what happens. So let's have a go at building one of these little modular expansion sets. I already have the base plate and the tiles for the paving slabs that form the pavement at the front and sides. So that bit is easy. I'm using the regular 2x2 tiles for the paving, the same as you find in the modular building sets, rather than the mixture of 2x4 and 2x2 tiles shown in the instructions. For the rest of this build I might have to use some different colours or sizes of parts, but I'm sure I can do something with what I already have, so let's see how this goes. For the kiosk I'm starting the same way as the instructions, but using some dark turquoise bricks for the walls and dark grey bricks for the columns, instead of the fence pieces for the walls and tan bricks for the columns. I don't have enough of these 1x2x2 clear panels, so I'm going to put some windows in the bottom parts of the kiosk instead. And I don't have the 1x4x3 clear panels, So I'm using 1x4x3 window frames in the same colour as the bricks instead. I'm making the top part from bricks I have in stock, as I managed to get some of these from the pick-a-brick wall some time ago. I've added more tiles to the little roof than shown in the instructions. They also came from the pick-a-brick wall, and so the roof goes on to complete the little kiosk. I think it looks okay, even though some of the parts and most of the colours are different from those shown in the instructions. Now I have to decide what to put inside. So I thought I'd look through my selection of minifig accessories to see if I have anything suitable. Got quite a few weapons, some hats, and do have some hair. Some kind of bits of electronics, telephone and camera, lots of wine glasses and some bottles, quite a few cups, and quite lots of other bits and pieces, some tools, all sorts of things in here. Wands and weapons. Even some skis and ice skates. And quite a few hairbrushes and combs and hair dryers from the Friends range. But I think I might go with some kind of electronic accessories shop. That'll be quite good. So I've put those into the little kiosk. I've got a kind of video camera, a loud hailer, telephone. Down the bottom I've got a variety of binoculars and a camera. And on the counter I've got a mobile phone and a handheld games console. There's even a couple of items on show at the front of the kiosk. And the kiosk even has fancy cameras and one of those newfangled ring lights for people who like to do their vlogs. The bit at the back of the base plate is very empty. In fact, the vending stand is quite small and looks a bit lost on the base plate. It's a bit strange that there are fences in the instructions and an access point to get to the space behind the kiosk, but there's nothing there. But maybe putting a small garden and a sitting area would provide a resting place for minifigs and add a bit of colour and variety into the street scene. I added some small trees to my Lego city recently, and I quite like the effect that that had. So maybe having a nice large tree in a space between buildings would be nice as well. I don't know what you think about the idea of these little sets. Personally, I really like the idea of a fairly cheap half modular addition to the modular buildings range. When you consider that these are only in the £20 range, compared with a regular modular building, which costs anywhere from £200 upwards, I think they could be very popular additions if they were packaged and sold properly, although I suppose that would add to the cost a little bit. I think the idea for the vending stand is quite a good one, although the wig, bone and frog stands are a bit weird. But I think if LEGO made this into a news kiosk or a snack kiosk, it would make perfect sense and fit well into a city scene. The construction site idea is fair enough, and maybe it could be somewhere to put those city construction vehicles that LEGO always produce as pocket money type of sets, or even those little ones that you sometimes get as polybags. The winter scene doesn't appeal to me as much, as it's really a wall and some street furniture, and doesn't even provide access to the pond behind, although you could of course easily change that if you wanted to. It might be useful in a winter village type of setting, although most of the winter village sets are not modular and more like standalone buildings, so I'm not sure you would need this street scene in a winter village setting. None of them are really modular buildings, although they do sit on a half modular base plate. Only the construction site has the modular connection points at the sides, if that bothers you at all. I think these little sets meet the objective of providing some inspiration or the basis for the development of something larger for those who are unused to creating their own modular buildings. And like all LEGO sets, they can be easily modified to suit whatever pieces you have in your collection or want to buy. So I think LEGO are to be congratulated on providing some ideas and instructions to get people at least thinking slightly outside the box, and maybe start exploring how they could start making their own creations so that not all LEGO streets are the same. I'm not sure what to do with this little vending stand now that I've made it. It's quite cute, but I'm not sure that it really rates a space in my LEGO city as it stands. Maybe I'll put it over here in the more modern area of my city until I decide what to do with it. What do you think of these little modular expansion packs? Have you tried them out yourself? And if so, what did you do with it? Do you think LEGO should provide these on a more formal basis? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget links to these things are in the description below. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button to let me know that you're there. And I'll see you soon for more LEGO builds, mocks and updates on developments in my LEGO city.